Hello and welcome to episode 6 of our series of Blades in the Dark. As always, there'll be a link on screen to see a playlist for the previous episodes. Today we are joined by Mittens and Mathilda. So, what have you been up to?
I have been de-stressing a little bit while we were kind of like getting over the stress of causing someone to die in a fire. And I was just helping out my fellow immigrants and making sure that they were doing okay, because that's how I relax. Because Mittens is weird. And then apart from that, I've just been speaking to Carrie Ann about some of the smoke inhalation that I experienced during the fire in the mansion. And she's been helping me exercise the smoke from my lungs by like just kneeling very hard on my chest and slapping me in the face. And it seems to have done wonders. Took 2 sessions, but it happened eventually. And then apparently the last thing I did was just kind of like look around the community centre that I've been eyeing up and getting ready for my local friends and just checking the building is all good and shipshape and Dwimble fashion, and yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Wonderful. Matilda, it's been even longer since Team Met Gala.
Fabulous 5 ever. So I went off and went on a big bender to distress, and then got in a fight with someone and gained the gang a little bit of heat. So that's not ideal. Um, and then kind of got wise to my ways after that happened and decided to help out everyone a little bit to make up for it. So strolled popped along to the community centre with Mittens and shouted at people to help out. And then found some materials for the lab to help set up with that. And then surveyed some trade routes to help out with our other projects going on.
As I'm sure people in the gang have been filling you in, since you were last involved in a score, and were around. They finished finding all the keys. They found the box. Eli opened the box and promptly disappeared. From his research, they were pointed to a professor at the university, same university that Hayward works at, who had been killed, but was a very friendly ghost. So I believe Matilda has been warned about the ghost. Mittens, I don't think was. So I don't know if Mittens met her yet. But in order to try and solve what happened to her and to Eli's disappearance, I'm assuming she's enlisted the what I would consider to be the brain trust of the organisation, being Carrie Ann and Hayward pretending to help. Ganja's not even here. I'm just insulting his character. He's not even here to argue. That just seems rude now. To anyway, go through the papers that Hayward and Claudia recovered. At which point, a spooky ghost, with Carrie Ann's assistance, makes a discovery. Where are the two of you currently hanging out in the base?
Probably maybe at the bottom of the slide, despairing.
You mean the the
I-
actual the slide?
The actual slide. The slide is on the slide, yeah. Oh, wait, am I a lurk? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're alert. Claudia's the slide.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew I was something. Anyway, yeah, I'm on the bottom of the slide.
I am probably at the top, about to eat myself down it. Let's be real.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. No care for others.
Having made the discovery and then realizing who it is at the bottom of the stairs, have you got anything like with you at all, Mittens?
No, I don't know. I might be, I don't know, doing like a coin run over my fingers or something like that. Probably not. I'm just sat there kind of taking a breather for a minute.
But Mittens wears a hat.
Mittens wears a hat.
Cool. You find the hat suddenly disappearing off your head and thrown to the side.
Excuse me. Claudia, I feel like you're somehow responsible for this. Could you stop, please?
It's
Just looking
not
around. Can I see the hat?
Claudia.
Okay. Hang on. I know ghosts exist, right? So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
cool. You sound like a ghost with some problem speaking.
Ooh. You see your hat get picked up and then flung out a window.
Excuse me, that's my hat.
Ooh.
Okay. Can I try and attune
Yeah,
to
sure.
try and
Go
get
for
this
it.
ghost to stop being a prick, please? That's a 5.
All right. Yeah.
Could you go and get my hat, please?
Fine.
Thanks.
She kind of just floats up, picks up your hat, puts it back on your head.
I appreciate that, and thank you for stopping doing the voice. It's just, my ears are a bit funny since I've been slapped so often recently.
Yeah, but the fun about being a ghost is you get to do the voice.
Fair enough. All right, I won't begrudge you your afterlife fun.
And I promised Claudia that I'd mess with you when I saw you, so...
So in a way, I was right when I said that Claudia was somehow responsible for this.
I mean, I don't think you should take away my agency in this just because I'm a ghost. I think that's very unfair of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That is unfair of me. Do ghosts like anything? I've not interacted with them a huge deal, but I feel rude offering you something to eat. But can I offer you, I don't know, something to fling around the room in a destructive fashion?
Ooh, she grabs your hat again and starts flinging it around the room.
No, something more interesting. Hang on, I'll be right back. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to nip off to Hayward's room and try and find something sizable that could fly around the room at devastating speed. Like I imagine he's got a globe or something.
Oh, yeah, that seems reasonable.
Cool.
I'll lie backwards on the slide and use my feet to slowly shut my stuff down. Just bored out of my head. Because I have to behave now.
How long does it
Hi,
take you
Matilda.
to get to the bottom?
Oh, probably a while. I'm doing that, and it's making that that awful squeaky sound on slides as you're going down slowly. It's just disturbing everyone.
You see a ghost kind of poking your head round, up to see who's coming down. Hey, Matilda.
Hey.
I'm just messing with Mittens.
Oh,
I come back. Here's a globe. Oh, hey Matilda.
Oh, I mean,
Why
I'm
do
not
the
actually
glow?
that fussed about throwing anything around.
Oh,
Actually, you're probably best
Oh,
to
never
put
mind.
it back. It's a bit rude to steal someone's shit, isn't it?
I mean, you... Mittens goes and puts the glow back, looking slightly confused at the attitude of a ghost who's hanging around with a group of thieves.
Go
I-
to high five the ghost and then
Just have your hand go through it.
yeah, just like go for it and then Dublin.
Very good. I can see why they suggested that I mess with Mittens. Anyway, what I'm actually here for. Might have made a discovery. Which,
Ooh.
well, that's just
That's
offensive.
Yeah. Mittens just gives up trying.
Watch your
Discovery,
plans.
was it?
Yes, discovery. Um. Uh. Follow, and probably maybe open doors if you want to go through them. I'm really into just going through closed doors right now. I'm going through a phase.
I would if. Oh wait, I can. Yeah, cool. I do.
She kind of leads you through to that was
Hermit
not
box.
an intentional pun. It's a little bit of a stretch, to be honest, Lux, but you know what? I'll pretend it was a deliberate pun. It was great, and shut up.
I liked it.
She leads you through to where the kind of box had just been left on the side, the empty box that had been had been opened. And ask one of you to pick it up and to bring it through to the kind of main seating area or kind of living room.
I'll get the box. You get the doors.
I will help.
Takes you through where there is currently, a fire going in the main room, and obviously pipes through to create some kind of heating system, although it's not as effective as it could be. And says, "Well, if you wouldn't mind throwing the box onto the fire."
I had an inclination to do so anyway. Go on then, and I'll toss it onto the fire.
You see, as it goes onto the fire, it looks like it should be made of wood, but just kind of sits on the fire. The lid opens, and from what you can see, as the kind of flames almost get sucked in slightly, and they sort of dance across the base of the box. And kind of sketch out some pictures that you can see.
I turn to Matilda and say, "Fire doesn't normally do that, right? It's not a here thing."
Nope. That's,
Okay.
That's a no.
Did you look at the pictures?
Oh, I mean, you can pick it up as well. It's
It's on the fire. I'm good.
honestly, it'll be perfectly fine.
Is
I'll
the
go
ghost
for it.
telling me this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that.
I'll go
Not the
for it.
sharpest tool in the shed. But
Yeah, you find it basically as you pick it up, it's weirdly kind of cool just around the box, and like as you take it off, the fire starts emitting heat sort of as normal after you've removed it, and the box is perfectly, it's like normal room temperature, like it hasn't been.
And as I put my hands in it, I am gonna scream, wind him up a little bit.
I jump slightly. Just...
You see the ghost try not to laugh too hard.
So we've got a weird firebox. What now?
Yes, you have a weird firebox. That's one way of putting it. Yes, if you have a look at these drawings, what I believe so far is that this was formerly a way of locking away a cursed item. Rough running theory that in some sense cataclysm happened, magic energy converted somehow into ghostly things, don't know the details yet, that this was then filled with some kind of ghost of some kind that probably did a thing. The box also contains instructions on how to so we say recall the cursed item back into the box. If the item, the idea being, old magic, if the item was unleashed somewhere into the world, there was a ritual that the people who stored it away could do, and it would instantly, teleport it back to them, and they could lock it safely away again. It's an interesting deterrent. My theory is that might still work in some sense. I don't know, it's the best one I've got, and might help with whatever's going on. So, we have some instructions. Now, these are specific items that exist.
Good.
But there aren't many of them. In fact, they're kind of unique items that, were kept by the magic-y people at the time and have since been, uncovered and exist in some places. Now, one of these I have the location for. They're somewhere in my notes, which is a local police station.
Right.
Because they took it from the university as evidence.
Okay. I'm feeling a lead here, which is that you want us to go to a police station.
Oh, well,
And
I mean, if
steal
you're
some-
offering, that would be very kind of you.
Could you not just float into the police station and then float back out with the item again?
Most places with any kind of security have ghost protection.
Oh. Do you know how much it
Insane.
costs?
How much ghost protection costs?
Yeah.
More than you can afford.
Okay. Just checking. Asking for a friend. Cool. I mean, Matilda, do you fancy going to a police station?
I have nothing better to do.
Excellent.
And then as we're gonna go, I'm gonna do that thing, where you flick someone's cap, like to knock it off. Do that and ruffle your hair and keep going. Alright, kitty cat, let's go.
I turn to the ghost and say, I think she's talking to you. Pull my cap down and just kind of like mutter things under my breath and start following.
Wonderful.
Presumably we know which police station and things that we're kind of like heading for.
Yeah, I'm assuming you then went back and had a conversation how it's the one, is the Blue Coat Station based in Charterhall. It's a reasonable sized police station, has quite a large sort of evidence lockup. Overnight, they tend to have a smaller, bare bones sort of crew. They'll have like a night watch that patrols, and they'll have a kind of smaller number of police officers kind of guarding, holding cells, and there'll be some doing bits of admin, but obviously most people are working during the day, so it'll be quieter then. So hence the recommendation that if you're going to break into a police station, probably do it at night.
So, Matilda, I know I'm not normally an ideas person. Now, breaking into a police station, this seems to be something that might call for some kind of cunning disguise. Do you think?
I think that might be a solid plan.
Now, as much as I'd like to bring back the horse, I feel like dressing up as a blue coat. Oh man!
A blue
No.
I mean, if you went for the mounted
Do they have
division,
police horses here? Is that a thing?
I feel like it could be.
no.
So you're in the front, I'm in the back. We just get the sticks that kind of like make the mounted person on top of us like look like a puppet and just wave their arms around.
They dismounted the. They dismantled the mounted division.
Okay.
They heard about
That's a
weirdos
shame.
disguising themselves as horses, and they just thought that's enough.
Mm.
No more
What a shame.
horses.
Well, my original point was going to be, like, I know a guy in the blue coats. He's a friend of mine, and kind of we do each other solids now and then. My friend Darmot. So what I'm hoping is that he can give us some kind of assistance in our quest. Let's not call it a crime. Let's call it a quest. And perhaps if you were to go about having a whizzy jolly time, and perhaps to cause some kind of ruckus that would require the attention of a blue coat, perhaps he and I could show up in some blue coat finery and find our way into such a police station.
I think that sounds like an excellent plan.
Alrighty. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I'm trying to think. So we'll do the engagement roll based off that plan. So we got 1d for sheer luck. Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Yes, because it's at night and it's where they think they're safest. Mwahaha.
Yep. Is it particularly bold or daring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to a crime house.
And can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for the operation?
Indeed, Darmot shall gladly do so, for I shall repay him tenfold.
There we go. We've got a full four dice.
4D, excellent.
Four Ds, yep. And whatever the roll is, we'll take the highest. Okay.
All ones, right?
Okay, that could have been worse.
That's always good to hear.
No, I'm just saying this to mess with them, really. I mean, I did get a 1, but then the rest of them were all 5s. So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty good. So as planned, presumably then Matilda makes a nice ruckus.
Probably gonna go back to the bar that I had the fight in first time recently, which will obviously put people on edge. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to get drunk to start off. Nice beginning, we'll see. And then get snarky with the bouncer. Probably shove him a bit. And then, I'll pull out one of my pistols on him. I think I'll do that. That'll probably get attention.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll pull out my pistol on him. I won't shoot it. I'll just threaten it.
So I'd like to think that we've been kind of like wandering down the other side of the road, waiting for this to happen. And at which point you just like hear like a sharp, like a whistle blast, and kind of like you see two burly blue coats. Well, one burly blue coat and one me, running across the street towards you.
What?
Is Matilda too
What?
drunk to remember the plan?
What?
I'm waiting for Darmot to step in because he's more of a policeman than I am. But seeing as he's not saying anything right now, I'm just gonna. I'm sure you don't want to hurt anyone. Why don't you just put the gun down? Just lower it.
Drop it.
Excellent.
When you say drop it,
I'll just drop it. She's drunk.
as in
She's off
literally
her
from
head.
like shoulder height, just let it
Like-
fall on the floor.
Like, probably just gonna, like...
Okay, the gun doesn't go off when you drop it. That's fine.
As we planned. As this happens, Mittens and Darmot will just kind of like swoop in, like either side, and just kind of link arms in a supportive yet firm gesture. Just like, all right then, Miss. I think you could do with a sleep, don't you?
I think you could do with a fuck off.
Mittens conceals his laughter. Says, "Now then, that's well, it's totally appropriate language. But Darmot, help me out here."
I thought she knew we were going to arrest her.
Move, come
I'm
on.
not resisting.
Okay.
I'm not. I will point that out. I'm not resisting. I'm just kind of like being a
All right,
mess.
come with us and kind of
Yeah.
just starts
Grr.
marching you. You know.
I'm gonna make kisses at the bouncer. I got like threatened.
Dispose of the firearm safely, please, sir. And just gonna keep walking.
Oh, that's a good point actually. We better take care of that. Mittens, just
Right.
look after a sec. And Darmot runs over and picks up the gun that you dropped, and then when you're out of sight, just kind of puts it back.
There's love.
Just feeling like you might want to have access to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, probably.
Probably don't want to be
Yeah.
leaving guns lying around.
How much did you actually drink, Matilda? Just so I know before. Okay. This will be fun. It's fine.
All right. Yeah. You know, walks with both of you through a kind of path. I'm assuming that this is a part of the city that I don't think either of you would have reasons to know particularly well.
No, we get to the end of a road and he goes one way and I go with another, and just Matilda gets like slightly jumbled in the middle,
Yeah.
and then I follow him.
He kind of picks a little route through some like, you know, little stickaways and back alleys that you wouldn't necessarily know about as someone who hasn't walked around here for probably quite a while, until, you know, you get to a police station. It's quite a reasonably sized one. You know, Shadow Hall's kind of where a lot of the sort of intellectual types are reasonably well off, so one that the Bluecoats consider worth protecting. to a decent degree. So yeah, they've got quite a nice police station base there. He takes you in. There's a guard on the desk, not really doing very much, just kind of very boredly just kind of sat there. And yeah, your friend just kind of goes up to say, "Oh, just got another one for, needs to sleep it off." Do you know if the captain's in this evening? And the guy looks up and says, "Nobody tells me nothing."
I was waiting for that.
He's like, "Okay, fine, whatever." Nah, the captain's not in. Not tonight. He's like, "Cool, that's good news." And then, yeah, just kind of takes you, walks quite confidently through. The guard should probably be doing some paperwork to check in and things, but he's not particularly fussed, and yeah, the guy you're with is just kind of I've already forgotten his name. Darmot, that's the one. Darmot's just kind of walking with confidence away, and obviously knows the police station, so just kind of straight takes you down a few corridors, down to the side, and down kind of is actually on both wings, but down one side there's a bunch of holding cells, which are pretty empty at this point.
Is there anyone else in the holding cell area? Have they just been left unattended because they're no longer a concern, or?
Yeah, so there's basically 4 holding cells. There's a couple of people in one, and then just like 2 individuals in the other 2, and then one of them's empty. None of them are really doing very much. 3 of them are asleep, and one of them's kind of just flopped down and sort of very drunkenly sort of murmuring, try not to fall asleep themselves.
Drunken floppy, got it. I'll say to Darmot, is there anywhere around here that we could maybe get a uniform? Kind of like nodding to the drunken person supported between us.
Yeah, there would be. Yeah. Where is it in this one? Hang on, give me one sec. He kind of just opens the door and kind of pokes his head out, and then goes down to a corridor down to the right a little bit, and you kind of hear him trying a few doors, until he finds one. Like, there we go. There's this one. It's just like the uniforms for the recruits.
Okay, Matilda. We're gonna get you to get into one of these nice uniforms. Now, gonna give you some privacy for this. Could you try and do it as quickly as possible, with as little noise as possible?
And then I'm going to proceed to try to be quiet, but your drunk friend is getting on her jacket, and she has to go. It's time for her to go home.
The taxi's here, Matilda.
Yeah, very much so. Yep. And then, but I will
Cool. Yeah. Obviously, either presumably there's some changing room or something where she can do this, or we just turn our backs or whatever.
Yeah, the room that has it is big enough that yeah, you can. I mean, it's not a massive room, but it's just got like racks of uniforms basically. It's just kind of filled for the recruits, and there's enough room to be able to like walk in and pick stuff off. So yeah, enough room to be able to walk in and get changed. Cool. Given the level of drunkenness, why don't we make a roll to see how well you manage to, one, get the uniform on, and two, not make lots of noise. Well, I mean, we'll cover it in one roll.
So is that me rolling for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. I mean, probably finesse, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems fair.
It's probably finesse. Okay, let's see. It's a 4.
All right. You don't obviously make so much noise that everyone realizes there's a drunk person pretending to be a police officer, and that's positive.
Knocking off the hangers on the rails or something in the room.
Enough noise that some other people in the building have heard something that sounds a little bit odd and might at some point start to investigate. So I'm just setting up a clock for that. But for now, people aren't paying too much attention.
There's no such thing as anti-drunk pills, is there? You can't like eat charcoal and then have it just absorbed. It's already in the bloodstream, isn't it? Fuck.
Nope, you got to deal with drunk Matilda all.
We have the tactical spew.
Oh.
Can I do a tactical spew? Is that a thing to like relieve the drunk? Is that? Or to at least prevent it getting worse?
Sure. Where would you like to go?
So where it would make sense is like there was only people in the holding cells. There wasn't like guards in that.
No, not currently.
Can I go into that empty one and in the corner just... And then... I feel like it would make sense in there.
Yeah, sure.
Or are they able to... Are the other people in the cells able to see into that one? Is it like just...
They would be able to, but as I said, like 3 of them were asleep. And one of them's fairly out of it. So yeah, I think that'd be okay. Yeah, sure. As you go out to lead, you see one of the other blue coats is kind of walking past where Mittens and Darmits are stood outside, and he turns to the two of you and says, Darmit, we need we're gonna need to borrow you. There's a situation that we need an extra man for. I mean, it's you or this recruit, and I'm assuming we don't know any recruit. No offense.
It's fine. As soon as he's walked up, I've done the traditional blue coat salute where I've just stamped my feet together and gone. And I'm just kind of like clearly avoiding eye contact in a deferential way.
Cool. So yeah, he does drag Darmit away from you.
Well, at least he didn't take me. Okay, I'm gonna head back into the room where presumably The Chunder train has stopped.
Oh, sorry. Let's Sorry, that was happening as Matilda was getting changed. Matilda then presumably comes out just to find Mittens. At which point you're off together to find said Chunder train.
Yes. All aboard. In there.
Choo choo.
Okay. Once that's happened, I'd like to use one of my load slots to pull out from my pocket a carefully and cleanly wrapped bacon sandwich,
Oh,
and I'll hand it over.
Can you just make a roll for the throwing up in the corner?
Roll to vomit.
Possibly not so much how well you vomit. Maybe let's. I feel like we need something. It's either going to be how effective it is at clearing your drunkenness, or how loudly you throw up, and whether it will attract any attention from people wanting to check up on what's happening in the holding cell.
okay.
I was going to say, are you a hunter? Could you?
I am I'm a bounty hunter. I
Could
could.
perhaps this be like a tactical
Yeah.
technique you've used before from your hunting days?
I feel like that's fair. Is that? I don't know how to. I'm trying to think of like what. Well, like, is it fair to say that I survey somewhere to find a quiet spot to hide away from people and not draw attention?
I mean, probably not, but let's do it anyway.
So, alright. 5 and a 6.
Nice. In which case, yeah, we take the higher, and it's 6. You managed to find a nice little corner out of sight, and just a quick chunder in the corner that no one sees. And you're feeling somewhat less drunk.
Sandwich.
You're a good one, kid. I won't touch your hat.
Yeah,
And I'll
we've all been
eat
there.
this.
It's kind of like
Cool.
yes. So, our guide's been taken away. We might need to find this artifact on our own.
Not ideal.
True. However, luckily we did talk to Darmot before about, because I'm guessing there are some places where they will typically keep the evidence, and he would at least given us like an idea of where it was.
Mm.
Yeah. So this one has basically 3 evidence kind of lockups, which there's not really any particularly telling which one they might use. It's fairly kind of whichever one's got room, and sometimes whichever one's nearest. The whole building's on 2 floors. You've got so where you are, you're kind of down the 2 sides are kind of two sets of holding pens. If you kind of go back through to the main central area and go down, you're basically in the kind of bullpen area, which down the end and kind of on the right is on the right and on the left. Down at the bottom, there's 2 evidence lockups there, with a couple of officers down right at the end. On the first floor, they have it's more kind of like higher ranking officers. Some of them are based in this area. It's quite nice an area. So they've got some kind of more high ranking officers that will use offices upstairs during the day, as well as some other kind of like interrogation rooms, a couple of more secure cells, so on the first floor, if they need to keep on a bit longer than just holding cell. And at the top, then there's also another evidence lockup there. In terms of the security for them, generally speaking, during the day there'd be a key available for them. Overnight, they're all kept on the front desk. As you know, there's generally little need to go in and out of the evidence locker. So the only keys to it will be with the guards out on the front desk. Anything else that you would feel like Darmot would have told you previously before you set off?
No, general layout, maybe like who we can expect and where. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers most of it. Do you say where the kitchen was? Like the break room?
Yeah, so the break room is so in that kind of bullpen area. There's just before you get to the evidence lockup. There's kind of again there's kind of a corridor at the end of it, and it's kind of at the far end of that the evidence lockup's on. On the near side, there's one on the left which is like a kitchen, and has a couple of tables on it, and then the one on the right's more kind of sofa-y, more kind of chill for people if they're not like eating and just like sitting and reading a newspaper or something for during a break.
Okay. So I say to Matilda, I say we head to the evidence locker, possibly by way of the break room, where we might be able to get you a cup of coffee. And we could, yeah, there's the potential. If you're walking around a police station holding a cup of tea that is potentially for someone else, that's a kind of position where you don't get a lot of questions asked.
Ever.
It doesn't happen often. Make the most of it. So let's go.
Go.
Cool. So as you walk in, it's kind of just two big like double doors. It's designed that you can get in and out quite quickly. I'm assuming you don't just like smash open both of them and make an entrance. That would be cool if you did.
No, I sobered up a little.
You go in and there's basically a bunch of desks around. There's some electric lights, on the sides and a couple on the ceiling. The station itself is reasonably new and kind of state of the art, so the lighting isn't terrible. And as you go in on the left, there's kind of a group of officers just stood around the desk having a chat.
Okay. Let's steer clear of them, but not look like we're trying to steer clear of them. And head to presumably where there is like a pot of something or other that is just being kept warm by something. Some kind of magical electrical device.
Sure. Why don't you make a roll to see how well you steer clear of them, but not look like you're trying to steer clear of them?
Could that be a prowl roll?
Need to do this. Yeah, that'd be the sort of thing that prowl would be covered by. You would either need to do this individually, or you can do it as a group action.
Shall we do this as a group action?
I have no stress at the moment because I cleared mine, so I could take the lead on it.
All right. If you take the lead,
Yeah.
and I will.
Sure. So yeah, both of you. Both of you roll your prowl, and you take one stress for everyone who rolls a 1, 2, or 3.
Okay, I've got a 5, 4, and a 1, so it's the highest, right? So 5.
And I got a 4.
All right. Yes. Cool. So yeah, that is success with a complication of extra thing being filled in. But you do at least successfully get to the end of it. One of them kind of briefly clocks you as you walk past with a slightly confused look because they don't recognise you, but don't pay too much mind whilst you just look like you're doing normal blue coat things, with presumably enough confidence that it looks like you're meant to be there, and they're on the night shift. They're not paid enough right now to care about.
It's like 3 a.m. No one cares at 3 a.m.
Yeah. So cool. If you go and explore those two kind of rooms, I mean, actually, both of them have pots of coffee, because the night shift need coffee.
Yeah, I pull a generic white mug from out of a cupboard and then fill it with what is presumably foul-smelling coffee.
Yep.
And just kind of hand it over to Matilda.
Oh.
Cool. I will pour myself a mug of. Do they have tea? They must have tea.
Yeah.
Do they have tea? Okay. I make tea with the milk in the bottom, then the bag, then the hot water goes on top. So, and leave the bag in so that eventually it'll stew into a wonderful stewed tea mess. But for the time being, it is steaming and looking awful.
That was violent.
Right.
That's just out of character. That was violent.
For making tea in the most hideous way possible, they
with 3 sugars.
When does the sugar go in?
It goes in with the milk.
Yep, cool. Definitely filling in an extra segment as the officers in the pen just feel the horribleness of that tea.
In my mind, it's a method actor thing, and it's how Captain likes it or how Sergeant likes it.
They can feel.
They can feel the poorness of the tea.
They can feel the agony of that tea making method. The tea bag calls to them in horror.
Everyone's like hairs stand up on the back of their neck. No one knows why.
Somewhere in the city, just Claudia looks up and goes, I feel as if a voice cried out and then was suddenly silent. Anyway, I have now prepared this cup of tea that is for another officer that we can carry about with the look of urgency.
Cool. Mathilda, do you try any of the coffee?
Yeah, I'll probably have a little sip of it.
It's actually better than you expect.
Okay. I probably wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Just for reference. Like, obviously it's not particularly good. It's police station coffee, but given you're expecting it to be a foul-tasting burnt mess of a drink, you know what? It tastes passably like coffee. It's not
drinkable.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Better than the mess beside me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I smile at Matilda. Shall we search for the? Well, I don't say it, but I kind of like give her the knowing look that says, "Shall we search for the evidence room, as we have previously agreed, and therefore have no need to speak."
Flashback.
Flashback to you agreeing that's what that look's going to mean.
Morse code eyebrows. I part my fringe.
Oh god, the punctuation. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We go ahead.
Cool. So we venture off in search of the rough direction that we know where the evidence room is.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. It's pretty much the other rooms at the end of this. There's only kind of 2 sets of rooms at the end of this corridor. I suppose there's a bathroom just down the end as well. So it's just there. But both of them locked. You can't really see into them. They've got kind of, solid wooden doors for obvious reasons. And assuming if you try the door, both of them are locked.
Okay. Do we know which one it might need to be? I'm assuming not. Okay. I mean, I can try and pick the lock. I kind of look at Matilda unless you have any better ideas.
Nothing that's going to be as quiet.
Right. Okay.
Alternatively, we could. The only other option is trying to sneak the keys off the guard at the front desk.
I feel like we should try the room first.
Cool.
Okay. I'll just have a look at the lock quickly, see if it looks like just a normal lock.
Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Okay. In which case I will try and pick the lock.
Go for it. Make a roll.
Finesse, right? Yeah, finesse.
Yeah, sounds good.
2 4s.
Okay. Yeah, this one lockpick works okay on. The whole thing is a little bit noisier than you would have liked. But didn't have too much issues in actually being able to get open.
Okay. I'll just kind of say to Matilda, we'll just wait out here for a sec, yeah? Nip in and see if anything obviously stands out.
Cool. As you go in, there's basically just like shelves of just stuff. Probably wise that you kept Matilda out, because you can see a few bags of drugs.
I pocket one for later, not for my personal consumption. Simply, should we encounter anyone who's asking why we're in here, I'm pocketing one so that we can say we're taking it to the evidence room. To be clear. God, why is it always drugs?
I mean, you made the choice to pick up drugs. Like, there's also various other things in this room that you could choose.
Yeah, but drugs seem like the obvious one.
I mean, you're choosing it,
I guess.
What kind of drug is it?
I don't know. It's some kind of flowery, clustery thing. I don't know.
Some
Purple
kind of
and
flowery
green. What does
clustering
that mean
thing.
to you?
Claire knows nothing about drugs, but Matilda will probably know.
Neither Mittens nor Kirby knows anything about drugs, as has been established.
Funnily enough, Blades in the Dark does not give a comprehensive list of the different types of drugs.
Unacceptable.
Which, is a little bit disappointing.
Green stem, purple buds. In weird, little clustery type things. In a paper bag, because you can't have plastic baggies.
Oh, wait, hang on.
I read the label, the evidence label on them, and find out what kind of drugs it is.
It is Black Lotus.
Black Lotus, okay. Black Lotus drugs.
Yes, this is probably not one that you would take, Matilda. It induces a coma-like stupor and visions. You would potentially... There is a milder formulation that is used that you probably could turn it into, called Dream Smoke, which gets more of the visions, less of the coma-like stupor, and is a bit more fun.
Like, technically, she seeks stupor and oblivion.
Oh, in which case, that's probably the sort of thing that on an average evening you'd probably just take. Yeah. All right.
Very much up her alley. Don't show her.
Yeah, definitely don't, because if she takes it in the middle of the police station...
I'm just waiting to see if we can just pump this through the vents or something. It could come in useful later, though of course Mittens doesn't know that because he's a sweet and innocent boy.
I don't think you can get a whole police station high by pumping drugs through the vents.
It's a really big bag.
We could put it in the coffee.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea.
That's actually quite a good idea.
Oh.
Matilda has some too.
Glorious. Okay, this is going to be fun. Cool. So, I'm assuming we look around. There isn't the item that we're looking for. We know specifically what it looks like. It's not just a magical item.
No. From the pictures on the box are pictures of the three options, so you know which one it is. And it would stand out pretty well. So it doesn't take you too long after poking around and pocketing a bag of drugs that you don't know what it does. It's not in this lockup.
Okay. Is there anything else interesting that's worth procuring while we're in here? Just to put you on the spot.
I'm just trying to think what would be in there that would be worth procuring. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of drugs in there. There's a load of weapons, but probably not things that'd be easy to conceal and take out. Some like bags of clothing that have been taken that are obviously bloodied and also probably not much use. I mean, they're not going to have anything like money or much in the way of valuables.
No, it's fine. I wasn't sure if there was anything like, what's it, the Vial of Silence or something that I have in my kit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's other interesting. I didn't know if there was anything like that.
No, there wouldn't be anything like that in the evidence room.
Right, razor wire traps or whatever it else is. You're getting dishonored. Sleep darts. Because we've got any sleep darts?
Again, not in the evidence. Now, if you manage to find the armory and break into that, then
that's
maybe find
more
things
of a
there.
crime.
But unfortunately, if they find things like that, they largely take it for their own use. So, nothing of that sort in the evidence.
Okay. All right, never mind then. I'll just nip back outside. Matilda, I've got some drugs. For just in case. I'll kind of like just pull, because I'm wearing a jacket and a shirt, so I'll pull the jacket open so you can see the rough. We'll see what it is.
Black Lotus. Just a highlight of it, isn't it?
Black Lotus, yeah.
I'll let you keep that.
I appreciate that. I kind of like look at my timepiece or whatever passes for it and just say, "Hurry up! We'd better get moving. It's almost 4:20."
Yeah. Appreciate it. Oh,
Cool. So the other evidence room, is it right next to us? Did you say?
Just opposite, other side of the
Just
corridor.
opposite. Okay. Um, rinse and repeat.
Sure, make a roll on this one.
Okay. 2 5s. I don't know why I keep getting the same numbers today.
Cool. Again, it's you still can't quite get the locks are custom locks. Still can't quite get the hang of exactly how how it all fits together. So it's still a little bit noisier than you'd like, but it still opens up.
same
Do you
again.
It depends. Do you want to nip inside? I'll wait out here, and then I can just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to put the." Yeah, okay. I'll let you go and
I'll have a little look around.
stay away from the drugs.
Sure, this one's just all drugs.
Yeah, I'll probably take stuff. Like, to have, not actually indulging.
You have and hold, which is. Yeah.
Are you suggesting that Matilda is married to drugs?
No. I was making a marriage joke, but also the act of holding being the act of possessing drugs. Sorry, it's always funny when you have to explain it.
I mean, you know what? That was actually quite a good joke.
Yeah. Oh. I'll pocket some stuff.
What stuff would you like?
What's the drugs of Blades in the Dark? What are the Dwimble drugs? What's hot on the market at the moment?
So, as I said, you've got Black Lotus, which does that. You've got Blood Needle, which induces fever, euphoric mania, and rampant energy. You've got Dream Smoke, which is the milder formulation of Black Lotus that gives more like intoxication and hallucinations. You've got Quicksilver, which opens the user's mind to the ghost field. You've got Spark, which makes you feel empowered and emit mild electricity. And you've got Trance Powder, which induces a pleasant hypnotic trance when inhaled.
Well, we're taking Spark.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're taking Spark. And what was the one that induces fever?
Blood Needle.
Yeah,
Induces
let's have
fever,
some.
euphoric mania, and rampant energy.
Oh, that's a great distraction. Let's have that. Oh, chuck it all in the coffee.
Just a little party bag. In the chocolate factory.
You know when you go to like a
You've got, like, your
makeup
little pick and
counter and you
mix.
get the samples of everything.
Right. I was thinking you're just like making your own little like pick and mix bag of these different.
That's with that little bits of everything.
Some of this. So.
No. Taking like worryingly like long time. Are any of the artifacts in here and take the items that we're looking for.
Not in here, no. I'm not exaggerating when I say this room is drugs. What you
Okay.
realise is the few that were in the other room, that's the overflow. The student area has a bit of a drug problem. So, yes. This is the all drugs. And that is
All
the
drugs, all the time.
other one is the drug overflow.
Yep. Okay, with my my brown bag. Well, so I found the best room, but it's not the room we're looking for.
Okay. Did you take anything while you were in there?
Like,
Do you need
Like-
another bacon sandwich?
no, I didn't actually ingest anything.
Yeah, all right. You took it. You didn't take it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You took it but didn't take it.
I did a steal.
Well done. We've finally done some crime.
Oh my god.
I know.
You say that as if between you haven't broken into someone's study and stolen things from them. You haven't turned up at a race course dressed as a horse and then burnt down a house and killed someone.
But no. Okay, I've done some crime because I've burnt down a house. But
And
the other
killed
place,
someone.
we just bought the stuff. We
Yeah,
just got it from them legally.
I stole stuff from a safe.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we've all done crimes. Fuck it. We're irredeemable. We're slaves to the system now.
I mean, you made that tea. You did the worst crime of us all.
Yeah, I know. And I kind of like just think for a second and then just take a little pinch of Black Lotus and then drop it into the tea. Just in case.
Cool. Yeah, what are you doing about so obviously they've been through those two rooms, not what you're looking for in those. Both of them are now unlocked.
Do we have an idea of where they are? Where the thing might be now that is not there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it must be in the one upstairs.
Okay, cool. Sure. One upstairs then.
Sounds good.
Cool. Then let's stride like we belong up
Yep.
the stairs.
Confidently, but not in a rush.
We walk with the stride of someone who knows they have drugs in their pockets.
Make a roll for how confidently,
How do I roll for
but not
drugs?
in a rush.
I don't know, like,
Finesse?
well, I'm trying to think what I would have. Like, command? Can I, like, walk with a command? Like, walk with an attitude?
Yeah,
Like a commanding presence?
don't see why not.
I'd like to prowl like someone who has drugs in their pocket.
And can I push myself?
Uh,
Please, just in case.
yeah, sure. Take 2 stress and add an extra
Cool.
dice to your roll.
That's fine.
Okay.
Oh, got a 6 and a 2.
5.
Cool.
I'm walking like someone with drugs in their pocket.
Well, I mean, it is a success, but the group who've been stood in the corner have kind of heard enough of what's going on that they're a little bit interested. One of them, as you're walking past, one of them looks up and just says, "Oh, what are you two doing here?"
Just taking Sarge's tea.
Oh yeah, which Sarge is that?
Flashback. We got the name of the Sarge.
I did want to say that at the beginning, but then I was like, no, I've taken enough. Yes, we can flash back to speaking to Dharma and say, who's the on duty? What's the on duty roster for tonight?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Just like a couple of key names, not everyone who's on duty, but just, specifically sergeants, maybe a captain. You said the captain wasn't there, but like.
Yeah. There's no caps on duty. There, there's a Sergeant Littlebottom, on duty, and also a Sergeant Nobbs.
Excellent. That's theory. He finally made sergeant. Okay. The person who's asking this doesn't have sergeants like pips or anything, do they?
The one that is talking to you does.
Does. Excellent. Okay. I'll say, oh yeah, the do we see who the guy was at the front desk? Was he just like a standard officer?
Oh yeah, he was just
Oh yeah, the officer at the front desk when we came in told us to make a cup of tea for Sergeant Nobbs.
Well, fine. I mean, I don't drink tea. He knows that. What a prick.
Oh, sorry, Sergeant. I kind of like do the old salute again. I'm new to the station. He must have been pulling my leg.
Yeah, clearly. Who are the two of you?
I think for a very brief second and come up with my normal. Corporal? Is that that's the normal? Is it? Officer. There we go. I'm trying to think of what the term is for who's like a generic officer.
Like constable.
Constable. There we go. Thank you. Constable lift owner, sir.
Alright, what about you?
The temptation to go Constable right on it.
Constable Daytona will come in to join us very shortly.
No, Constable Stephanie.
All right, who sent you over here? We just don't have you down on the rotors, so.
Say again, sorry.
Who sent you over?
Oh, I came in with, let's see, it's Constable Darmot. You take a couple of seconds to like think and try and remember, try and remember the name. And so yeah, it was Constable Darmot.
Darmot, what's he brought you in for?
I don't know, sir. We was out on the street when we found a drunken layabout and had to bring them in. And
One, you needed two of you to help him.
They were very drunk, sir.
Useless bugger.
I kind of like Do not say anything disparaging against my fellow officer to the brass.
So what are you doing down? Took you quite a while, didn't it? If you're just making a cup of tea.
As I say, Sergeant, it's first time in the station. I'm trying to find my way around.
Oh,
Then
it's
you
just
need a
bloody there.
coffee.
Also, that tea
confused.
looks like an abomination.
Yes, I probably should have picked up when the desk officer told me so to make you this cup. And I kind of like look at it as if I too feel that it is an abomination. He said this was how you liked it.
Oh, I'm sorry, you must have been wrong.
Sorry.
I told him sorry, you must have been wrong.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you stick them on front desk, and you always doing stupid shit like this. I'm gonna have a right go at Reg when I'm off shift. Anyway, sorry, Constable, shoot.
Constable who?
Shoot.
Shoe. Yeah, got it.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I assume you got everything. I mean, he's there was four of them standing around. So he was kind of the sergeant, and there's kind of three people. Three people stood with him. He turns around to a couple of them, and goes, "Oh, Fred, Buggy, you mind? These people clearly have problems working their way around the station. Look, go and clean that out, because that's just wrong. That cup of tea, and then they'll show you the way out. I presume there's nothing else you need to do here."
Do we know anything about what the upstairs is used for, apart from there's one evidence room and it's what, officers?
There's
rooms?
evidence room. There's some officers. Offices for officers. That's weird to say. There's also some interrogation rooms. There's also like a couple of like general training rooms. It's much more sort of admin-y type.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat myself down and go, Constable Darm has my keys. I dropped them when we were struggling with the drunkard, and he picked them up and forgot to give them to me. Just gonna get them off him before we go. Sure, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, where is he anyway? Where did he go?
I think I saw him heading upstairs.
What's he doing going upstairs?
Don't know, sir. I think I heard him say something about needing to get something from the training room.
Fuck's he'd have to. Oh, fuck's sake.
I couldn't say, sir.
Honestly, I'd have his badge if I could. Useless bastard. Alright, well. Yeah, Fred, Buggy, if you can escort them to clear that out, and then go with them up to the training room. Help them find what they need to get.
Thank you, sir. Will, was it Fred and
Buggy?
Fred and Buggy? Great. Excellent.
So yeah, two of them. One of them, what they be? So one of them's constable, the other one's corporal. they, lead you through down to the kitchen, so you can get rid of the absolute abomination that you've made.
Can I? So the Black Lotus, what was it called? You put some of that in the tea, didn't you?
I did.
Can I try discreetly chuck a cloth in the sink while you pour it out to try and catch it in the cloth?
Sure. Make a roll for how well you do that.
Make a roll to catch drugs.
Well, I'm not trying to catch the stewed liquid in like a cloth. That's...
Oh, it's used like chloroform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what
There
that
are
was.
lots left. We can just rub it in their eyes.
Why their eyes?
Well, how else are you going to get it into their system? Put it in their mouth, they have to chew and swallow first.
I could do that either, yeah.
Don't you have some rather...
Oh my god, I do! Oh my god, yeah.
We don't just have to use my drugs,
Yeah, just...
I trust
Yeah.
you brought enough to share with everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
As if Mathilda would share her stash.
I was going to say, we say using the sign language that we have established previously has been learnt by our group of just like...
Me nodding at the tea. You nodding at the drugs. Me like... bit offended.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
What do you want to roll?
Well,
Well, are we waiting? I assume we're waiting until we're walking along with them first.
Okay.
That's, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
not in front of all the other... Like,
Yeah,
the sergeant.
Alright.
Yeah.
the way I'm imagining it is like the upstairs of the police station is basically everyone's downstairs, and the upstairs is kind of like all the lights off, and they're kind of like just flickering on as we walk through the region. You know, like an office at night type thing. So there's probably not too many people up there already.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, in that case, we'd wait until we got upstairs and we were far enough away that we could
Ambush.
not make any noise when we very sneakily drug them in their eyes. And that is what we would like to do.
Are any of them in a liquid form?
So Spark would be Quicksilver is Black Lotus is more like a resin
Yeah.
type. Blood Needle doesn't say. I assume that would be injected from the name. Dream Smoke probably similarly would be a very like thick resin type. Trance Powder is obviously powder. I guess which ones would you likely to want to use? Black Lotus would do what you want. I don't think Blood Needle or Dream Smoke would do what you want them to do. Or Quicksilver or Spark. So I guess Trance Powder or Black Lotus, depending on whether you want them to just be in a pleasant hypnotic trance or if you want them to be in a coma-like stupor and having visions.
Dealer's choice, no pun intended.
I don't want to rub it in their eyes. No, it's probably...
I just kneel down to tie up my shoelace. Oh, no. Just wait for them to walk ahead of me.
Just for
Yeah, I'll hand some of the
reference.
Black Lotus
Okay.
over to.
I was going to say, just for
and-
reference, you know that trance powder is inhaled, so rubbing it in their eyes
Yeah.
would be irritating.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's.
But
So-
wouldn't really do much.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we
I mean,
doing
you
this?
could throw a load in our hands and just cover their mouth and nose. That would.
That'd probably do the job.
Right, come on. Well, like Matilda's still probably pretty drunk. Let's the
Right.
Black Lotus.
3, 2, 1. That's what we're doing.
Cool. So you've just quickly make a roll to see how well you rinse out the mug of tea.
Again, finesse, I guess.
Sure.
5. Quite well.
Okay, that's cool. You take 1 stress from the hideousness of the tea as you inhale it, but it doesn't hurt you, so that's good.
So I've rolled for washing up, is what you're saying.
Yes, and you took 1 stress because of it.
Understandable.
Yes, and then you've gone back through with these two, gone upstairs. The main kind of training rooms are down, basically down towards the front of the building, and they're kind of two rooms. One's kind of right at the end, and it's this kind of large sort of lecture theatre type, and then there's a couple of smaller rooms either side of this main corridor. So they've kind of walked you down, or started walking you down there.
Cool. Is the stream okay? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna kind of let them lead the way, just a little bit ahead. Then I'm gonna prep and pounce.
So I guess it's one of those that you could do as a group action. You could both chance individually if you wanted to use different skills. You could push yourself. There's Devil's Bargains available.
I mean, the way I was gonna go with this was I was gonna hunt, like had that kind of plan. Again, happy to lead a group action if you want.
So I have nothing in hunt. Again, it depends whether you'll take the argument for finesse or prowl for this, because that's kind of all I do.
Finesse, yeah.
Finesse, yes. Okay, I could finesse in that case.
Prowl less so. So yeah, it's up to you if you wanted to hunt and finesse separately. If you want to do either of those as a group action, whatever.
If we do a group action, does it all have to be the same action?
Yeah, it would have to be the same action.
Okay.
I do have a dot and finesse.
It's up to you then, in that case, whether you want to hunt an all finesse or we do a group finesse. But I don't think it would go well if we hunted. If we did a group hunt.
No, that's fine.
We can always knock them out.
Yeah,
I love
this
how
is
we're
true.
going with the drugging first instead of
Yeah.
just straight up hitting someone, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'll stick with hunt, and then we'll just backtrack if it.
Do I have time? Seeing as we're kind of like, we both eyebrow waggled at each other. We know it's coming. Do I have time to pull out a silence potion vial and drop it, and then...
Yeah, sure. Check it off your load.
I think it's a free item. It's one of my italicized ones.
Yeah, cool.
Sweet.
I mean, still technically check it off your load because obviously you use it
Gotcha.
to do, so you only carry one with you, but it doesn't count against your load total.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Set. Waggle, waggle, waggle.
And then suddenly complete silence for everything that happens in the corridor. And yeah, make your rolls.
Have you gone for Fred or Buggy?
Oh, Buggy.
Okay. 2 5s again. Why do I never get 6s on these bloody things?
I got 2 6s.
Critical success.
Crit. Yeah. You did this as a group action, right?
Oh, I had gone for hunt, but
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. In which case,
Yeah.
so no, that's fine. But you have, so I mean, you perfectly, grab him, drugs around for nose and mouth, just nice, controlled, drop him down. Mitten's approach of the eyes is not as successful. For some reason, that's not as effective, and it takes a bit longer, enough for him to slightly haphazardly take a couple of swings behind with a baton as he goes down. So you're going to take level 1 harm.
Okay. Baton to head. Ooh, what's it called? Is it a
Yeah, baton to head will.
baton to head? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I was just going to say bash by a baton, but that's more for the alliteration.
Bash by a baton sounds like a horrible histories book.
it.
Anyway.
But at least Matilda, having brought hers down nice controlled, is able to grab him before he does any more, and nicely brings him down as well, until they're both just on the floor.
Clear, you haven't drugged people before, Mittens.
Seems like the eyes would work. Let's get them down a corridor and just kind of like start dragging them in the direction of a convenient, I don't know, broom cupboard, cleaning area type thing.
I'm gonna make them cuddle.
Can we sprinkle some Black Lotus, like on and around them?
Yeah, sure.
If it's your stash.
No, yeah, just little bits as well. Not.
Mm.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, just just before the training rooms, there's cleaning supplies cupboard. Yeah, and easy enough for you to track them in.
I'll ruffle up the hair, unbutton the top of the collars, have them kind of
Matilda. Say nothing. Just watch her work.
Sounds good. Make a roll for how well you do it.
Oh, I'll just finesse it, I guess. Yeah. 6. Nummy dies.
Me dice.
Yeah, nummy die. Well, a nummy die.
I
But
thought
yeah.
you said dies initially.
Yeah, that's what
when
I thought
heard
as
that.
well.
I
I
was
was
like, what? You
No.
roll a 6 and therefore just carry on somewhere off screen.
No.
No, cool. In which case, yeah, you've constructed a very, very believable scene. Well done. Yeah, cool. They're nicely arranged for when someone finds them. That, yeah.
They look quite cute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the interpretation they're gonna take when they're found. But yeah, I don't doubt.
I mean, they're
For
having
Matilda, they're very like, she ships them.
Should we go and do what we came here for?
Yep. And I'll
Oh,
chipperty wander down.
I'll just trudge slightly behind.
Yeah, it's basically down the other end of the corridor. Is where the evidence room is. Again, it's locked.
Mittens.
I just kneel down and start unlocking the door. Ooh, finally a 6.
Yay.
Nice.
5 and a 6, not a 6, 6, but still.
But yeah, from the first two, you've got the feel for these locks, and this one, smooth, silent, and it's open.
I open the door and gesture for Matilda.
Will we go in together?
Yes, we do.
Cool.
You've turned into Chaos Lady. It's suddenly got more scary. Just like link arms and walk in.
I'm sobered up, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have a look
What
around.
wonders do we behold?
More drugs.
Not gonna go ticket.
You no, there's not much drugs in this one. You do find in the corner what looks like a bunch of some kind of books and notes and some old like carvings and things like that. Included in that is a familiar little red phoenix. Metal is really small, so it's kind of like almost like a little figurine, with a little tiny ruby kind of encrusted in its head, which is a familiar little design from a box that you have. So you find that there's also some drugs. There's also some other little bits like that that don't look as valuable. And similar to the other ones, there's a kind of normal just mix of stuff. There are a few bombs in this one. So you've got something that resembles an old sea mine. And just some other bits of weaponry and
any smoke bombs? Or sea mines only? We're a land-based country, damn it.
No, there's a sea.
We don't know that. Aren't we stuck in this like ghost town? Or the ghost
No. You know about the sea because that's where it's Leviathan oil that fuels a lot of what happens in the city,
okay.
And that's all essentially whalers. So, yeah. You know about the sea. You know why someone might have landmines. Mainly competitive, or competitors in the Leviathan hunting field. Probably one of those set up a landmine, sea mine where a competitor would likely be.
But at sea.
Yeah, set that up where a competitor would likely be, taking a ship, and clearly it got removed before it functioned. So yeah, all good. Yes, there is a couple of smoke bombs.
Cool. I will pocket those.
Do any of the evidence clothes look nice?
Define nice.
As in something I could wear, as opposed to anything that's valuable.
I mean, most of them are like clothes that a person was wearing when they were killed. So
Okay, never mind.
The ones that aren't that are there because they have like blood splatter or had been thrown, had been hidden in some way. So there's nothing you're looking around really that you want to take, at the very least, without giving a very thorough wash before you later wore it.
Oh, so we have what we came in for.
Mm.
Are there any windows on this floor of the police station?
Yeah.
Okay, let's open a window and fuck off. I feel like we should set fire to it as well, but that didn't go well last time.
As we're leaving, can I shoot the landmine or the sea mine?
Only if I climb down first.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
You want bullshit? Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna bust out my climbing gear and just like attach it to the end of the thing, climb down the wall, and kind of like look to make sure that Matilda is, at least kind of near the window when she shoots this thing.
Cool.
Hang on. Could we take off our jackets and possibly shoes and leave them in the room and make it look like we got exploded?
Yes.
Okay. I start changing into some of the questionable attire that can be found in the room. Throwing my discarded policeman's clothes near to the sea mine, but not quite at the sea mine. And yeah, start making my way down the wall.
Sure.
Via the window.
Are you doing the same thing, Matilda?
Yeah, I'll be. Yeah.
What clothes have you found to put on?
It's frilly. It's not got much blood on it, but it's frilly.
Cool.
Is there what's the thrift shop by Macklemore? You know, his big fur coat. So yeah, that's what Matilda finds.
Cool.
Probably has a bit of blood up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
But it's some big pimp coat is what she takes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Cool. So, silence thing lasts for about 10 minutes, right?
The silence file? Sure.
I thought it said somewhere. I thought I looked it up. Where did I look it up?
Yeah, I think we did look it up at one point. I can't remember. It was
silence
it was
question. Oh no, just creates an area of utter silence. It doesn't actually say how long he lasts for.
10 minutes.
Ooh. Okay. I've just made a discovery that I mean it's fine. I'll remind me to mention the discovery about silent potion after the stream.
Okay.
That's all cool. And yeah, let's call it 10 minutes. I think that seems reasonable. The whole point is it's long enough that you're still kind of within it. So you go in, obviously find what you're looking for, clock C mine, come up with a plan, get changed, go out. So it means that your shot won't be instantly heard. So that's all cool. Presumably you set up the rope and everything that Mittens is going to jump down. You basically got your pick. I mean, like, there's offices, there's the training rooms, like basically all of those have got windows. The evidence room and is like the one room that wouldn't have windows. Everything else, pretty much got your choice of which one you want to open and set up.
It'd be the one. The way I'm seeing it is there's like a window that leads onto an alleyway that's kind of next to the door where the evidence room is.
Yeah.
So that Matilda can just kind of like get over the ledge of the window, pew over the top, and then just kind of like descend very quickly into darkness.
Awesome. So I think there's 2 rolls then that we need you to make. That would mean that Matilda isn't covered by the silence potion if she's out there. So you'd have to be kind of in the corridor where you threw it for the gunshot to be covered by it, so people would know it was triggered by a gunshot.
Your call then, Matilda.
I mean, I feel like it's like level 3 harm risk if I'm in the corridor. I mean, it seems cooler just as I leave to shoot it off and make a run, but
that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. In which case, yeah, make a roll. Now, presumably, what's the weapon? And I'm just wondering if you'd have the option to push yourself. I suppose you don't need to do either of those. No?
Yeah, I was looking at.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it'll just be it will be my pistol. But yeah.
Cool. In which case, yeah, make a roll for it.
I mean, like, hunt is like my hunting instincts, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that seems fair. I mean, none of them specifically relate to gunfire, so I kind of assume that if that seems I assume you're good at shooting things, and that seems your approach to shooting things, so I think that's fine.
Cool. Or I could argue survey that I can line it up and.
Yeah, I think hunt's more, you might attack with precision shooting from a distance is hunt.
Okay, perfect.
And that's exactly what you're doing. So yeah, cool.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm at the window ledge, just kind of like preparing in case I need to like drag her out the window, and just out of harm's way.
Oh. It's a 5 and a 3.
Okay. Cool. So that is success on shooting it. However, it pretty much as soon as you hit it, it goes off. Rather than what you'd probably hope for, that you'd have a little bit of time to get a bit close to the ground before it goes off, and pretty much just throws you straight onto the ground. Which probably level 2 harm.
Could I try and reach forward and like try and grab as I see she's being concussed, whatever kind of cussed she's being.
Yeah, that would come under a resistance roll. I think. I mean, technically, you can also try to resist some harm.
How does resisting harm work?
Well, I think Mitten's trying to catch you or to slow your descent would make sense for that. So I think that's what we'll go for. So I think you would roll. So I think it's your total in prowess. For Mittens, you'll take stress of 6 minus your highest result. And it would reduce the severity from level 2 harm to level 1 harm.
So I have 5 dots in prowess, 3 in one, 2 in another. I'm assuming I roll 3, not 5.
No, you roll 5.
I roll 5? Fucking hell. Alright. And I take stress equal to that. Watch me roll not a single 6. Okay, we've got 1 6.
Awesome. You don't take any stress.
Woot.
And you manage to do enough to avoid it being completely like thrown onto her back on the floor. Still bruises up her ribs a bit as she kind of goes less into the floor. You manage to sort of get her almost onto her feet, but still has a bit too much momentum and kind of smashes into the wall. Bruises up her ribs a bit, but not as bad as it could have been.
I looked cool as fuck.
Yep. Worth it.
I feel silent pride, but I say nothing. Descend down the rope.
Flashback. We have a horse waiting for us. For our getaway.
How did you arrange
Flashback,
the horse?
it's Haywood and his assistant.
Yeah.
How did you, oh, well, unless it's Haywood and his assistant. How did you arrange the horse?
I suppose. I guess no. We could have asked. What's his name? Dalton.
Darmot.
Darmot. Sorry.
Look.
We all
could have
remember
asked
Darmot's name.
Darmot to talk to the buddies for, like, you know, obviously he would, I assume, because they previously had horses, I assume he would know stables and stuff like that, and could organise to have one there.
Sure. Make a roll.
Oh my god, what do we even roll for that? Demand? I demand he bring us a horse.
Makes sense.
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll just. That's a 4.
Cool.
It is Haywood.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, as you are caught, smash into a wall in the alley, you've kind of arranged that basically there's a little snicket way down, kind of away from the police station that's obviously been blown up and has a lot of attention coming on it right now. You know, a couple of little back alleys that Darmit's kind of said, you know, go out this way. People won't really be coming in this way. They'll obviously be going main roads, and you know, you can sneak out there and there'll be someone waiting for you with a horse, or with two horses actually that you can ride off.
Image of Mittens in some frilly thing.
I was going to say,
Myself in
me
it.
in my frilly clothing, mounting a horse.
As you do, a familiar gentleman is stood there with two horses, and looks at the two of you and says, "Ah, Matilda. I was wondering when I'd get to see you again." Well, here are the horses you requested. Good to see you're obviously staying out of trouble.
I'm just gonna shove Mittens onto it, like, go, 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 go.
Already like halfway under the horse, just trying to clamber on and go. Cool.
Well, I look forward to your future escapades.
Sure, we'll see you again.
Offer a
And I-
hand to, Matilda to help her up onto her horse.
Oh, and gallop off. Don't even wait for Mittens, just gone.
Incredible. And that's the end of the score. Well done. Not well done. I mean, okay. So there's a couple of things to do. So firstly, in terms of heat from the score, where's it gone? Where has it gone? There it is.
I feel like it would have been lower if we hadn't blown up the building at the end.
Yeah, it would have been lower.
Yeah, but like you wanted to set it on fire, and I said, "Well, there we go." And
sometimes an explosion is as good as a fire.
mm, it's on brand for her. It's just
I'm trying to decide if loud and chaotic or wild would describe what's just happened.
It wasn't really chaotic for the most part.
So +1 for a high profile, well connected target. Blue coats are. Didn't happen on hostile turf. And +2 heat if killing was involved. Now obviously there was a bunch of people in a police station when you set off a sea mine.
Yeah,
so
but they were through a wall.
it was upstairs.
I
Are
mean,
you telling us that this device that's meant to sink ships at sea actually had some kind of impact on a building?
yeah, funnily enough. Given where it is, it's kind of basically over the downstairs area where there was two of them. So they've probably got quite a low chance of escaping. I think everyone else is going to be about 50-50. So these two need a 5 or a 6. Nope, that one's gone. That one's gone. Cool. Your couple upstairs. One's dead. Well, they'll both be dead together.
Oh my god.
So they're gone. Two more people in the building. They're at the other end. They've got a pretty good chance of escaping. Yep. Red Shoes survived. And okay, the other side. Cool. So only 4 people died.
Only 4 people. That's pretty good. How many heists have we had so far?
6.
Cool.
Oh,
that's
this is
less
the
than
6th.
1 per heist. Fuck it. That's just basically a freebie.
So yeah, that's then two more heat because killing was involved. Thanks so much for joining for today's episode. Don't forget, you can see a link to previous episodes on screen. Until the next time I see you, I hope you have a great day.